This time we take on one of the biggest shared experiences of our lifetime, the COVID-19 pandemic, how we survived it, and why it really sucked. When the pandemic first hit, some people joked about it like it was a snow day. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Work from home in your pajamas. Finally, more time to bake banana bread and binge Netflix. But nobody told you about the months and then years of isolation, anxiety, and grief. Nobody told you how quickly hospitals would overflow, how many people wouldn't come home. Nobody told you how fragile society really was, or how selfish people could be when it counted most. This isn't just staying home for a few days. This is losing your job, losing your loved ones, losing your mind, all while pretending to hold it together on a Zoom call. This is why it sucks to live through a pandemic. Remember when they said it'd just be a couple weeks? 2 weeks turned into months. Months turned into years. Every time restrictions eased, they came back harder than before. You couldn't go to a restaurant. You couldn't go to the movies. You couldn't even hug your grandma without wondering if you'd kill her. Birthdays canceled, weddings postponed, funerals live streamed on your phone. The walls of your house became a prison, and the people you lived with, no matter how much you loved them, started to feel like cellmates. The days all blended together. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Who cares? And if you lived alone, the silence was deafening. Masks, tiny pieces of cloth that somehow divided the world. On one side, people wearing 3 at a time. On the other, people screaming in grocery stores about freedom. You just wanted to grab a carton of eggs without a stranger calling you a sheep or coughing on you on purpose. It didn't matter what science said. Everyone suddenly became an expert. Family dinners turned into debates about conspiracy theories. Friends you'd known for years were suddenly posting anti-vax memes on Facebook. And meanwhile, you're standing in line for your booster, wondering when people stopped caring about each other. Then there were the jobs, or rather the lack of them. Whole industries collapsed overnight. Restaurants, retail, travel, gone. If you worked from home, congrats. You kept your paycheck, but traded your sanity. Your office became your bedroom. Your lunch break became another Zoom meeting. And work-life balance became a cruel joke. If you didn't, you were either furloughed, laid off, or labeled essential, which basically meant you were thrown to the wolves with no extra pay, no protection, and no way to say no. You risked your life to stock shelves or deliver packages, while billionaires flew rockets into space. Cool. Even if you never got sick, the loneliness was contagious. No parties, no concerts, no family barbecues. You waved at people through windows. You talked to your dog like it was your therapist. You stared at a little square on Zoom and pretended it was human connection. People in care homes died without saying goodbye. Kids grew up without friends. Couples broke up because they couldn't stand being stuck together, or because distance became too much. Even now, some people still don't feel normal, whatever that even means anymore. School became a battleground nobody was ready for. Kids traded classrooms for glitchy Zoom calls, fighting bad Wi-Fi and muted mics. Teachers turned into tech support, therapists and miracle workers overnight. Parents juggled jobs while playing substitute teacher, trying to explain algebra through tears of frustration. Some kids thrived online, but others fell through the cracks. Learning gaps widened, and test scores plummeted. No field trips, no recess, no prom. And for college students, you paid full tuition for a year of blurry video lectures and group chats. The pandemic stole milestones and left a generation playing catch-up. Trust in everything crumbled like a house of cards. Governments fumbled messaging, rules changed weekly, and nobody knew who to believe. Health officials said one thing, politicians said another, and your neighbors swore they had the real scoop from a reliable source. Mixed signals on masks, vaccines, and reopenings left everyone dizzy. Institutions you thought were solid, hospitals, schools, even the news, felt like they were winging it. And the distrust lingered, seeping into everything from elections to everyday conversations. You started questioning everything because nothing felt certain anymore. And then there were the healthcare workers, the unsung warriors of the pandemic. But at what cost? Nurses and doctors worked endless shifts, reusing masks and gowns because supplies ran dry. They watched patients die alone, holding iPads for final goodbyes over FaceTime. The clapping at 7 p.m. had felt nice for a week, but it didn't fix the burnout, the trauma, or the fear of bringing the virus home. Some quit, some got sick. Too many didn't make it. And while we called them heroes, they were just people, overworked, underprotected, and carrying scars we'll never see. The system leaned on them until it broke them, and we're still feeling the fallout. Hospitals are still understaffed, waiting times have ballooned, and those who stayed face a system stretched beyond its limits. And then there's the grief. You don't forget the sirens outside your window, the daily death counts on the news, the empty chairs at the table. For millions of people, this wasn't just inconvenient. It was devastating. Parents, siblings, best friends, gone. Some of them dying alone because no visitors were allowed. And the worst part, the world just kept moving. The hashtags stopped trending. The news moved on. But your pain stayed. We clung to every bit of hope. Just until the vaccine. Just until the next wave passes. Just until spring. And every time, it felt like a cruel joke. You'd plan something, and then cancel when cases spiked. You'd see light at the end of the tunnel, and then another variant showed up. The constant cycle of hope, disappointment, exhausting. And even now, nobody really knows if things will ever go back to how they were. We survived, but don't let anyone tell you it wasn't bad. Don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking it wasn't traumatic, because it was. We're still picking up the pieces. We're still figuring out who we are after all this. And for some of us, we'll never get back what we lost. So if you lived through the pandemic and you're still here, you're not weak. You're not dramatic. You're just human. And it really, really sucked. This has been Why It Sucks to Live Through a Pandemic, COVID-19 edition. Shout out to everyone who made it through and to everyone we lost along the way. You're not alone. Like, comment, and subscribe for more brutally honest takes on life's chaos. This is Why It Sucks. See you in the next one.